The president of the Hinyotreb Youth Council HYC, Roy Kuparsanrem, on Tuesday voiced strong opposition to recent remarks made by BJP legislator A.L. Hek'S, who cited the Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act Mrssa 2016 as a safeguard against the migration of outsiders into the state. Addressing media persons today, Roy Kuparsanrem asserted that the Mrssa was enacted primarily to regulate tenancy and does not serve as an effective mechanism to curb influx. He further cited Hek'S for downplaying the demand for the inner line permit, despite being a signatory to the 19th of December 2019 resolution in support of ILP implementation in the state. According to the HYC leader, A.L. Hek'S appeared more focused on promoting tourism than addressing concerns over unchecked migration.
As an organization which had time and again raised the issue of influx in the state of Meghalaya, we have time and again raised the threat posed by the unregulated influx taking place into the state. We take strong exceptions to some ministers and MLAs of the state who have stated that the Mrssa 2016 is a good mechanism to check influx. In fact, we have seen the statement made by one of the minister in the state in the government of Meghalaya, by A.L. Hek'S, where he has stated that Mrssa is a good mechanism and it can control influx by implementation of the sections of the provisions under the Act. But we fail to understand, like, how can Mrssa check or regulate the movement of people inside the state when we have gone through the Act of 2016, and we have been raising this time and again, that there is nothing in the Act of 2016 which specify or which give power to the state government to regulate the movement of people inside the state. The question that we want to ask Bahek is, which Mrssa are you talking about? Because if you speak about Mrssa 2016, then there is nothing in that act which specify or which empowered the state government to regulate the movement of people from other states or from other countries into the state. That is point number one. Point number two, we would also like to request Bahek and those who are in favor of Mrssa 2016 to kindly read the Act of 2016 properly. And please also go through the orders that was passed by the Honorable Meghalaya High Court in the case of PIL number 13 of 2020, because the Act itself was challenged during that PIL. There were some petitioners who went to court and challenged the establishment of the facilitation center, because the government says that through facilitation centers there will be entry and exit point where people entering the state and leaving the state will be checked. However, those two provisions, the provision of section 17 and 18, was challenged before the Honorable High Court. And during the case, the government of Meghalaya, through the Chief Secretary, had submitted a report before the Honorable High Court stating or justifying the establishment of those facilitation center. And the Chief Secretary stated that the purpose of these facilitation centers are, number one, to verify the tenants, and number two, to weed out any known antisocial elements and wanted criminals. Those are the purposes where the facilitation center were established. And during the course of the case, on December 7, 2021, the state government informed the court by a notification that these facilitation centers that were established at Umling, at Umroy Airport, and the Mendipathar railway station, they were handed over to the health department, so that these centers were converted as the screening centers for people entering the state, whether they have been afflicted by COVID-19 or not. So the facilitation center, in turn, instead of being the place where people entering the state are regulated or are checked, they were turned into merely a screening center for people being afflicted or not by COVID-19. And as we know at present, what is the condition of this facilitation center? If you travel the highway up to Ribhoi, you will see the facilitation center at Umling. It has been left unattended and without any use or purpose by the state government. So the facilitation center that were established as per section 17 and 18 of the Act 2016 were left like that, without any purpose or without any power to check or to regulate the movement of people. So the question that we want to ask all these people, or Baheg or any other person who says that MRSA 2016 can or will regulate movement of people, we want to ask them under what provision of the Act can you say that this facilitation center or the Act of 2016 will be able to check or to regulate the movement of people. As far as we are concerned, HYC is concerned, MRSA 2016 is nothing but just another tenancy act, because it is applicable to all the residents of the state, not only to the people who enter the state from other states. The Act of 2016 is just another tenancy act which is applicable even to the Khasi, the Jantias, or the Garus who are permanent resident of the state if they move from one place to another. And we are also very sure, we also want to make this point very clear, as far as we understand, MRSA 2016 will not ever serve as a mechanism to check or to regulate influx into the state. Therefore, we demand from the state government and all the MLAs of the state of Meghalaya to kindly take proactive steps to impress upon the central government that the resolution that was passed on December 19, 2019 be approved and the central government implement ILP as soon as possible in the state of Meghalaya.